Within this tutorial, we'll be demonstrating how you can use Excel spreadsheet for accounting. Now, it will not be double entry accounting per se, but you can use it to create the profit and loss statement as well as your balance sheet, which is your financial statement. Okay, for starters, we're going to start with the actual program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in until I find the particular one we were demonstrating, which is a FY Women's Organization Accounting Workbook. They call it Workbook. And not only does it have an Excel worksheet, but I've also created it to work with a Microsoft Word document for your financial statement itself. And the numbers from the workbook will transfer over into the Microsoft Word document producing the financial statement. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to open up the Excel workbook, and here it is. Okay, this is the Excel homepage for this workbook that I've designed. Apostolic Faith Southern Eastern District Women's Organization Accounting Workbook. And it's menu driven. You notice here I've actually have menu selections that you can choose. You do not need to go down to the bottom to click on the individual tabs to access those sheets. You can do it from the menu directly and it would take you there. So first of all, let's see exactly what it's saying for the income and expense report and the balance report before we put numbers into it. We see here that the net income is 0. There's no input. Back to the home page, your balance report, as you see here, is 0 as well. There's no numbers there. Now, the first thing that happens is you receive some money from a branch church. So we're going to go to the branch church income, and here it is. Got a listing of all the branch churches over here on the left side and everything. Okay, for this one, I'm going to choose Columbus, Georgia. Okay, and say it's going to be in August. The date's going to be in August, so we're going to say August the 5th, 2023. And the amount was $100. Okay, I typed it in here underneath the amount for that month, and it totaled over here. As you see, this is designed for the quarter. It has August, September, and October. So you can run this for the entire quarter if you're doing quarterly statements. If you're doing monthly statement, you will only run it for 1 month, produce your statements, and then go again. Okay, back to the home page. The next thing that happened is an individual donation come in. So we're going to go to the individual donation right here. And there we are at the individual donation. The same thing, you put in your date. You put in a remark concerning the donation, a date again, whether it was on, and the amount. In this case, the amount was $755. Very generous donor. And then again, another one came in. We're going to put in while we're here for the sake of the time of this demonstration, which was $25. And so the total is $780 that came in for individual donation. Back to our home page. The next thing is we went and purchased some supplies, general supplies. This is the general supply area. Once again, you can put in a date. You can put in a name if you want to reference who the supplies was for. The branch church that is affiliated with here, whether it was cash, whether it was a check or Zelle or whatever, and the actual amount. So the amount for these supplies was $314.75. And when we type it in, it totals down at the bottom. If you had 5 other entries, it would total it at the bottom. Back to the home page. After that, the next thing came in was program expense. You had something you had to pay for in reference to a program that you're going to be having. Once again, you put your date in, the name, the branch church related to, whether it was Zelle and so forth on. A note, if you want to make a note concerning that particular entry. And the amount here was $371. And we see it totals at the bottom for $371. Back to your home page. Okay, you got 2 more entries to put in, and you will have put in all of basically what happened during this rating period. Okay, this is benevolence. Okay, so we click on benevolence, and here we are. We can put in the date and accordingly pertaining to the information that you want to put in. The amount, the first amount was $103.73. Okay. And then later on after that, within a few weeks, something else happened and come in, and the amount for it was $25. It was all benevolence. And so now you have the total amount of your benevolence. Back to your home page. Okay, at this point, what happens is you at the ending of your rating period, and you receive an email with your financial statement for that rating period. And that financial statement will have basically the beginning amount at the start of the rating period and the ending balance at the ending of the ratings period, just like a bank statement. It lets you know how much you had in at the beginning and at the end. Well, in this case, the ending balance, we're going to go to opening balance right here. And this is where we put that information in. We'll reference it to the financial statement that was provided to you. As far as the beginning balance was 0 on this particular one. And your ending balance was $65. So you type in 65.52. Because that's your ending balance. Okay, we type that in. Back to the home page. Now, throughout the rating period, as you enter these values, as they happen and everything, little did you know, but you was actually producing your financial statement while you was doing that. So your financial statement is all ready for you. It's all ready. So let's see what the income and expense report looks like. Remember, it was 0. So let's see what the income and expense look like now. Well, the income and expense, basically, it shows the church donation, the individual donation, the total of that. It shows the benevolence, the general supplies, the program, all that information automatically came to your profit and loss statement. And it shows from the amount that came in minus what was expensed out, you have $65.52 net income that came in after that. Okay, so your profit and loss, income and expense report is all ready for you. But only thing is, it's in spreadsheet format. So let's go back home to the home page and let's look at the balance report and let's see how it looks. Okay, the balance report shows here that Wells Fargo checking have $65.52. That is where you put it in for your ending balance. For your ending balance on from the statement that was sent to you, it showed what the opening was 0, and right here equity is 0. Had the opening had $300 on it, then the equity would be 300, but it had 0. And at the ending balance on that statement, it says 65.52, so you type that in there. Now the system went through based on everything that came in, income, and all the expenses that went out. It had 65.52 left. So it's balanced. Asset must equal to equity, liability, and equity. Asset must equal to liability and equity. And in this case, it does total liability equity, 65.52. Total asset, 65.52. So it's correct. Now, at this point, you need to put together a financial report that you can email to others. One way you could do it, you could try to work it here and block this and try to print something and so forth on. But I've prepared something to help you with that as well. So we're going to go back to our file, and we see here we have one said that it's called financial report, which is in the Microsoft Word program. We're going to click on and open it. Okay, so as we click on and open it, this is what we get. We get this message right here. And the message basically says, this document contains links that may refer to other files. In other words, it's linked with that Excel spreadsheet. This document is. And it wants to know if we want to open it up where those links work or not. I'm going to say yes, we want the links to work. So we're going to click on it. And when we click on it, it opens for us. And here it is, Microsoft Word. And this, you can save it and you can email it to whomever because it's a Word document. It shows that total amount that came in. It shows the total expense that was spent out. It shows the net income was $65.52. And we scroll on down and we see the balance sheet. And remember the checking account balance was $65.52 and the liability and equity was $65.52. So it's correct. So this was automatically done for you just by entering income as it came in, expenses as you spent money, and at the end of the rating period, when you receive the statement and the amount on the statement, beginning amount, ending amount, you put that information in, and the program did the rest of the work for you. This is the opening balance when you get your statement. If there wasn't a beginning and balance amount, you would put it there. On our statement, it only had an ending balance amount, and we put it there, $65.52. This completes this demonstration of this workbook the Lord has blessed me to put together. If you feel that you would like to have a copy of this, amen, I'd be more than happy to make it available to you and also give you some teaching on how to use it in addition to this particular video that you're watching. All right. Well, God bless you. May the Lord continue to have his way in our lives. This completes this tutorial.